Welcome to the Mike's Fitness Equipment Studio for the Inland Sports Show, live and amplified from Teen Vision TV 16. My name is Pep Fernandez. We got a lot of high school football coming your way as we lead up to 7 o'clock, your official preview show for high school football every single week in the Inland Empire. Coming up, we've got Murrieta Valley head football coach George Wilson. We've got Santiago head coach Scott Morrison. We're going to talk CBU volleyball. But first, we're talking some of the big games coming up in week 1 of the season, which is actually the second week of high school football. But week 1, the top games this week, the games that we are talking about, the games that we are keeping an eye on. And join us live via FaceTime from his backyard, which is a slice of paradise. It's Jeff Gorham with his son, and I think he's got Jeff. Are you in there? Are you okay?
Yes. Hey, you have Santiago Sharks. I'm ready.
Jeff, man, that's a good look for you. I like that.
Wow.
Yeah, I'm telling you. I've got it all. Wait. I think I might have what? Who else do we have? The Nighthawks?
We have the Nighthawks, Murrieta Valley, man, the Murr.
All right, here we go. Ready? Here's my Nighthawk. Ready? There it is.
That's close. It's close.
That's about the only thing I got. Okay.
Man, that's.
Hey, Pep, how are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing great.
Jeff, you are live from your backyard as we're talking high school football tonight on the Inland Sports Show. Are you poolside? Like, what's your view right now?
Here's my view. Ready? Here it is.
Yeah, I'm ready.
There it is. Look, the Shangri-La right there. Backyard.
That's the life right there, man.
I got this little guy next to me. We're ready to talk some high school football.
What's up, Luke? Oh, did you just gab on me?
Hi.
What's up, Luke?
Yeah, look at him. Say it loud.
Hi. Hi.
Hi, Luke.
I love that.
I love it.
Hi, Luke. Hey.
All right, it's crazy at the Gorham house.
Oh, it's always crazy. And it's a crazy week for high school football, Jeff. We've got big week 1 coming up. Last week we probably had about 2/3 of our local teams playing, but week 1, we have got games everywhere. Very busy week. In fact, this could be the busiest week all season long in terms of the amount of games that we'll be keeping an eye on. Johnny and Anthony in the back, we've got our top non-league games. And, Jeff, it's kind of worth revisiting here as we go into week 1 quickly. But we've got a lot of big games coming up this week. Some of them, as we're going to hear from Murrieta Valley's head coach, George Wilson, they're taking on Paloma Valley. And a game that we're very excited about is Santiago taking on Rancho Verde. That's this Friday, Jeff. That's a huge game.
I'll tell you what, that's one I wish I could be at, just because you've got a great quarterback at Rancho, and I'll tell you what, you've got talent all over that field. They're fast. You've got a big 8 Studley team coming in. That will be a great one.
Yeah, so you're looking at the top non-league games. So this is not just week 1, but there is some week 1 games in there, including Aquinas versus Kaiser. Jeff, that's this Friday. That's a week 1 game as we look at our top non-league games. Aquinas, listen, they're loaded. Aquinas is loaded. They've got some guys that will be eligible after the first 5 games of the season. And I wasn't sure about our boy Billy Cardosi and the Kaiser Cats, but Jeff, they had a huge blowout win in week 0. I think they're going to pick up right where they left off.
Well, I talked to a lot of people, including Coach Cardosi, and I'll tell you, they went up to Sultana and took care of business. Billy, he doesn't have the great 2 running backs he's had the last couple of years, but he still has a lot of dudes, and they put the hurt to Sultana, and Sultana plays Norte Vista this week. I'm sure they got a great scouting report, but I'll tell you, Billy Cardosi is reloaded.
Yeah, speaking of Kaiser, they are the number 1 seed in the CIF Southern Section Division 6 ranking. So the number 1 ranked team so far in Division 6. San G was number 1 in Division 8. So we had a couple local schools topping their respective divisions. Jeff, what did you think about Centennial and Mater Dei as the Huskies now get ready to take on Orange Lutheran this Friday? But I was hoping, and I fully thought that Centennial was going to make it a lot closer with Mater Dei. The Monarchs just must be on a different level.
Yeah, really, the last 2 games that they've played have been against Mater Dei, and they've kind of put the hurt to them. But, there are a couple good things that you can learn from this. I'm sure Coach Logan will shore up what he saw, the missteps that they took. But you're playing Mater Dei, and Mater Dei is nationally ranked. What are they, number 1 in the country?
Yeah, number one.
number one in the country, and then you have Centennial. Centennial's going to bounce back. You know, they just ran into a juggernaut, and they're going to have to play another Trinity League team this week. It's going to be tough for them, but let's see. I'm sure they can bounce back.
Yeah, Centennial's loaded. I would not be surprised if Centennial was able to run the table from here on out and then meet Mater Dei again, or maybe Bosco in those Division I semifinals late in the season, late November. That's what I'm predicting.
Yeah, week 1 or week 0 to week 11 or 12 when they're playing in the playoffs. That's going to be a different Centennial team. They'll be ready next time.
Yeah, and remember Division I now is just 8 schools, so it's basically going straight to the quarterfinals now.
Yeah, exactly. So you're not going to end up playing until Christmas with those teams, which is great.
And Jeff, finally, you'll be on the Riverside TV Game of the Week this Friday. It's Great Oak against King. One of those schools will be picking up their first win of the season. What's your thoughts on the Wolves and the Wolf Pack?
Well, I'll tell you what, the Wolfpack, their only win last year was against Martin Luther King. But I talked to Coach McCarthy this week. He says he's happy with the guys he has. I'm getting splashed, by the way, so I apologize. He's happy with the way his guys are playing and practicing. It's going to be a tough one. I'll tell you, somebody's got to win this one, and I think that King, playing at home, has a little bit of an advantage. And I hope that I hope to see Martin Luther King do well. I like Coach McCarthy. They've had some struggles the last couple of years. I'd like to see him get in the win column. All
right, so we got the Wolves from King, the Wolf Pack from Great Oak. Can we leave with a wolf face? Do you have a wolf emoji?
Let's see. I'm sure I have something. Let's take a look.
Because if you've got an all-Wolves matchup coming up Friday on Riverside TV, I feel like it's only appropriate to go out with well, that's close. I think it's a fox, but, man, that's close, and we'll take it.
Yeah, I mean, it's better than this. I was going to give you the old alien. But no, this one's pretty good. I'll have to go with this. This is the closest thing I have to a wolf.
It's perfect. Thank you, Jeff. Yes. Enjoy your backyard, man, that little slice of paradise. We'll see you Friday.
I will see you next week, everyone, and I'll see you Friday. Love you guys. Hey, Luke, do you have anything you want to say? Look.
Oh, baby koala.
All right, bye, guys.
See you, Jeff. That's Jeff Gorham live from his backyard somewhere here in the IE. Let's round out this first segment with a little more high school football here. Again, a reminder, Sports Weekly Live on IEMG. We got a fancy graphic for that. Every Friday night, 11 o'clock to midnight, the only high school football show in the Inland Empire. We'll break down all of week 1. We're going to have a lot of scores. We're going to have a lot of video. We'll even have some interviews as well. So Friday night, 11 o'clock on IEMG TV. If you don't have it, it's okay. Just go to YouTube, IE Media Group. It's right there. And check us out live on Friday. Now, we touched on it with Jeff, but our Kin Sporting Goods must-see game of the week, and it's got to be Rancho Verde taking on Santiago. And sure enough, we got a fancy graphic for that one as well. If you're looking for a game to go to on Friday, check out the Rancho Verde and the Sharks. This will be season opener for Santiago, and on paper, this one's going to be fantastic. They've played each other in the past. They've had some real battles for Middle Earth. So it's going to be Santiago and Rancho Verde, our Kins must-see game of the week. 2 of the top programs in the Inland Empire going head-to-head early in the season. So an early barometer, an early test for both these schools in week 1 of the high school football season. All right, we also have our Inland Sports Grade 8 and 4 more football rankings to get to. And I got to be honest, when you see the rankings, a lot of the schools that we had ranked pretty high, they all lost in week 0, at least a lot of them. So let's go to the rankings as well, as you're about to see. Some of the really good schools lost. I'm talking about Centennial, Cajon, Heritage, Redlands East Valley. A lot of good schools lost, but Centennial, you got to keep them at number 1, and for a good reason. But a little shakeup as Norco climbs up a little bit higher. But beyond that, not a lot different. San Gorgonio climbs into our who's next. But some big games this week that will be telling going forward. So we've got our football rankings. We also do high school volleyball rankings. Our senior writer, Daryl Trujillo, puts out his top 10 every single week. His first top 10 of this year had Chaparral number 1 in our local volleyball rankings. Here is Pumas head coach Gail Johnson talking about this year's team that did not make the playoffs last year, but looked like a surefire playoff team this season. Here's Gail Johnson.
Inland Sports. We had a really young team last year, except for a few key players that graduated. So the majority of the kids that were on the court came back this year with a year of experience, another year of club, most of them. And so that year, they just really developed and got a lot better. And it just made a huge difference. And with them, plus the addition of Bella Rittenberg, who's a freshman, they've just come to play. And they work hard every day. And we're really working on our staff. We're really working on teaching them. We're working on increasing their volleyball IQ, teaching them the game better. And I don't want to say too much because I don't want to give away our game plans and everything that we're working on. But we're just trying to take everyone to the next level.
Inland Sports.
All right, that was Gail Johnson, head coach at Chaparral, talking about the Pumas' hot start to the season and being number 1 in our high school volleyball rankings by senior writer Daryl Trujillo. When we come back to the Mike's Fitness Equipment studio, we will have a live interview with Murrieta Valley head football coach George Wilson as the high school football chatter rolls on your favorite show, the Inland Sports Show. We'll be right back.
What's going on, guys? This is Ray Bass from Boost Performance Training. You're watching the Inland Sports Show with the one and only Pep Fernandez.
The Inland Sports Show is brought to you by Spoiled Quick Quality Oil Change. Spoil yourself and your car at Spoiled. Kin Sporting Goods. They have all of your sporting gear needs, Letterman's jackets, and team uniforms. Boost Performance Training with Coach Ray Bass. Athletes of all levels and all sports are going to Boost Performance Training in Corona. Mike's Fitness Equipment. Check out the new storeroom on La Cadena. Quality fitness equipment at affordable prices. Mike's Fitness Equipment. And JoJo's Grill-A-Dog, located in the Mountain Grove Shopping Center in Redlands. Let's be frank, not all dogs are created equal. JoJo's Grill-A-Dog.
I would say the one thing that we stress more than anything else is service to our customer. Make sure that they're taken care of, whatever you can do to make sure that that order gets to them on time and it's the right quality and what they want. I've been that way since 1976. That was my goal, to reach out to local sports programs, and it's grown from there, and we've been very, very fortunate. My grandson is right over here. He's working for us, and he's going to college right now, and that's exactly what my son did 20-some years ago, and it keeps on going, you know. Customers that come in the store that it's amazing. People that I haven't been here since I was a little kid, and I used to come in here all the time, and then now I'm bringing my son in here, or a grandpa that's bringing his grandson in here that came in here when we first opened back in '76. We just feel so fortunate to have been a part of this community and this Inland Empire for going into our 44th year now, and it's just been a blessing.
Riverside. Just opened up our new location off the 91 in Arlington and Riverside. Come check us out and get spoiled for a change.
There's cool, and then there's Aaron Rodgers wearing a Canadian tuxedo with a bolo tie and Tom Selleck mustache, throwing shakas. He was like throwing the Hawaiian shaka walking through the airport. College football, though, the preseason poll came out. Clemson #1 in the country in the AP poll, #1 to start the season. For the first time since 2001, USC not ranked in the preseason top 25. Slam the door shut. When you see Kinley Jansen running from out of the bullpen in the ninth, if you're the opposing team, you got to think, well, it's over. We're done. And they don't. They're like, here's our chance. We got a chance. Sports.
And welcome back to the Mike's Fitness Equipment Studio here at Val Verde Teen Vision TV 16 for the Inland Sports Show. Talking a lot of Week 1 high school football, waiting patiently to jump on the show. We love this guy. He's the head football coach at Murrieta Valley, home of the Nighthawks. It's George Wilson. Big game this week for the Nighthawks as they take on Paloma Valley. Coach Wilson, first off, thanks for joining us. And how's the team look as you get ready for your first game of the year? Are you feeling good right now?
Well, yeah, we're feeling great. I mean, you know how it is. You go the whole summer, you wait for it. And we didn't play week 0, so we're real excited.
Well, coming off your scrimmage that you had last week, what did you guys do well in that scrimmage that has you optimistic going into this showdown with the Wildcats on Friday?
We played fast. We were physical. Our quarterback that we're breaking in, he was great. He was real efficient, made a lot of big plays, so we're excited.
You know, call me Captain Obvious, Coach, because a lot of the conversation is going to be, well, who's the quarterback for Murrieta Valley this year? Because that has not been a question, the program has had to address for the last 4 years with Hank Bachmeyer, and we'll get more on Hank in just a second here. But yeah, so who is the next guy in line? And man, again, the quarterback position was solidified the last 4 years. Now you're breaking in a new quarterback. Who is he, and what do you like about him?
Well, he's a 10th grader. His name's Brandon Rose. We're really excited about him. He's a tall kid. He has a very strong arm, extremely accurate. We couldn't be more excited about this kid.
Now, Coach, around here in the Inland Empire, especially here on the Inland Sports Show, we knew Hank Bachmeyer was a very special football player, a great quarterback. So, we weren't completely surprised to hear that he was going to be the starting quarterback at Boise State as a true freshman. What do you think makes Hank such a great quarterback, those intangibles maybe, that he can start at a very high Division I level as a true freshman, just walk right in and take that starting job?
Well, obviously, coming out of high school, Hank had a lot of opportunities. There wasn't a lot of schools in the country that Hank couldn't have gone to. And the coaches at Boise State kind of fit his personality. They're very personable. They're very down-to-earth guys. And we saw they had a senior quarterback, and they didn't have a kind of guy in waiting coming in. So when he left for Boise, he left with the mentality that he's gonna compete for the starting job. So he wasn't kind of falling in as a freshman and then kind of won the job. He showed up there day one in his head, competing for that starting job.
All right, Coach, let's go back to this year's team at Murrieta Valley. Let's go even beyond the quarterback position. What areas do you think your team will be strong at? Do you like your defense, offense? You like your linebackers, your passing game? Well, where do you think this team's going to hang its hat this season?
I think we have a good size offensive line. They play real physical, and we have a lot of experience, which we didn't have last year on the offensive line. Our defensive front seven, we're really excited about them. We got they're real athletic. They're real long. We got lots of guys over 6'1", and those two areas we're really excited about.
So as you go into this first game against Paloma Valley to open up the season, what do you think are the keys to victory against a Paloma team who traditionally is pretty good? We saw them last week lose by 2 touchdowns to Norte Vista, but Paloma Valley is always going to put up a fight. What do you think are kind of those key areas when you play the Wildcats on Friday?
Well, for us, it's our first game, so we can't have too many of those first game, false starts or bad snaps or things of that nature. It's their second game. So, hopefully for them, they got a little bit out of that stuff out of their system. So for us, we just want to avoid some of those first game things, just get into a rhythm. If we play our game, we feel pretty good.
And Coach, finally, just your non-league schedule period is just tough. I mean, so many good schools, which is probably the caliber of teams you're going to see in Southwestern League play anyway. So it's kind of preparing you for league play, playing all these great teams. Can you talk about your non-league schedule and just the challenge it might pose going through those first 5 games before you hit Southwestern League play?
Yeah, sure. So we'll open with Paloma Valley, obviously. And then we'll play Santiago and Roosevelt back-to-back, 2 of the Big 8 teams. We love playing those teams. Those are 2 schools with over 4,000 kids, and we always pride. We have 2,300 kids. We've always prided ourselves on playing these big schools. We can, kind of do a little chip on our shoulder, kind of deal with that stuff. They both have good coaches, and they both got great athletes. So those would be 2 really good games. And then our home openers versus Oaks Christian, who's I don't know where they are. They're top 5 in the state or something like that. So that's always going to be a great game. And then, we finish off our preseason with Buena Park, and then we get ready for league. So that's kind of how it plays out.
Yeah, you guys kind of have a rivalry going with Oaks Christian now, which is such a fun game. You guys have had some battles the last couple of years. But, Coach, we appreciate the time. Best of luck against Paloma Valley on Friday. It was great catching up. And the next time you talk to Hank up there at Boise, tell him we all said hello from the Inland Sports Show. We're all cheering him on down here.
Hey, Hank loves the Inland Sports Show. He loves him some pep, too. So I'll make sure he knows that.
We appreciate that, Coach. Thank you. Good talking to you. Good luck on Friday.
All right. Thanks, guys.
All right, that's Coach Wilson from Murrieta Valley, one of our favorites, one of the good guys out there. A big game coming up against Paloma. Man, tough non-league schedule, but I love it. Nighthawks going head first in some great games coming up in non-league before. Brutal Southwestern League. Vista Murrieta had a bounce-back year, won the league title last year, but you can bet the Nighthawks are going to try to be taking that league championship back this year. All right, let's go to our Mike's Fitness Equipment Athlete of the Week. It's our first Athlete of the Week of this school season as we're now officially into football, and it is Hillcrest quarterback Cameron Payne, and he did a little bit of everything for Hillcrest. Passed for a couple touchdowns, ran for a touchdown. Look at him with the great moves. He gave head coach Travis Carter at Hillcrest his very first win as head coach. So when you're talking about dual threat quarterbacks, remember the name Cameron Payne at Hillcrest. Very elusive in the pocket, buying more time, throwing touchdown passes. He can do it on the ground, through the air, and that's why he's our Mike's Fitness Equipment Athlete of the Week. Hillcrest quarterback Cameron Payne, and they've got another big game this week. Cameron Payne's going to lead the charge as they head up to San Bernardino Valley College to take on Notre Dame. Notre Dame is playing all their home games this season at SBVC, San Bernardino Valley College, so that's pretty cool. All right, and one other note in this segment, Temescal Canyon won their season opener against King High School. That was 6-0 the final score, so that was kind of a wacky game, but Temescal Canyon finding a way to win, and they've got a tough non-league schedule as well at Temescal. They've got Ontario Christian this week. They've also got JW North. They got Hillcrest, what you just saw. They've got Harupa Hills. So a nice non-league schedule for head coach Phil Cohen and Temescal Canyon. But first things first, that big win against King High School. So let's hear from Coach and that wacky 6-0 win against King. Here's Coach Cohen.
Sports. Actually, I was very calm. I told, look, guys, this is what we trained for. Okay, you got to make a couple plays. You've been doing it all year long, you know, in camp, in summer. I said 2 plays, communicate, go get them, and that was it. So I'm not surprised at all, quite frankly. Well, I think in the course of any season, you're going to have those games you have to win by willpower. I think at some point in time, it's going to happen. And for us, tonight was the night that we have to grind it out. It wasn't pretty. The bottom line is when we had to make a play, we made a couple of good plays when we had to on both sides of the ball, come out with a victory.
Inland Sports.
Temescal Canyon gutting out the 6-0 win against King. Again, the Titans on the road at Ontario Christian. And fun fact here, Coach Cohen's son Josh was an intern on the Inland Sports Show a couple years ago. So ties to the Temescal Canyon program. Good to see them get a win in week 0. When we come back to the Mike's Fitness Equipment studio, we've got more high school football. The head coach of the Sharks from Santiago, Scott Morrison, he's going to join us live. We also have our spoiled slick play of the week, and we'll tell you about our radio game this week, Hemet and Vista Del Lago. That's coming up on the Inland Sports Show.
Hello, everybody. This is Mike Maynard, the head football coach at the University of Redlands, and you're watching the Inland Sports Show.
How you guys doing? Coach Bass here, letting you all know that we will be opening enrollment for the 2019-2020 Boost Alternative School for student athletes in January. Bass is a private school here in Corona, California that emphasizes academic and athletic development for student athlete life as they prepare for high school and college. If you'd like more information regarding our private school, please feel free to reach out to us directly. You can contact us through social media, on Instagram at Boost Training, on Twitter, Boost_Training, or you can contact us here at our gym at 951-532-4904.
Just opened up our new location off the 91 in Arlington and Riverside. Come check us out and get spoiled for a change.
I would say the one thing that we stress more than anything else is service to our customer. Make sure that they're taking care of whatever you can do to make sure that that order gets to them on time and it's the right quality and what they want. I've been that way since 1976. That was my goal, to reach out to local sports programs, and it's grown from there, and we've been very, very fortunate. My grandson is right over here. He's working for us, and he's going to college right now, and that's exactly what my son did 20-some years ago, and it keeps on going, you know. Customers that come in the store that it's amazing. People that I haven't been here since I was a little kid, and I used to come in here all the time, and then now I'm bringing my son in here, or a grandpa that's bringing his grandson in here that came in here when we first opened back in '76. We just feel so fortunate to have been a part of this community and this Inland Empire for going into our 44th year now, and it's just been a blessing.
Inland Sports Show is brought to you by Spoiled Quick Quality Oil Change. Spoil yourself and your car at Spoiled. Kin Sporting Goods. They have all of your sporting gear needs, Letterman's jackets, and team uniforms. Boost Performance Training with Coach Ray Bass. Athletes of all levels and all sports are going to Boost Performance Training in Corona. Mike's Fitness Equipment. Check out the new storeroom on La Cadena. Quality fitness equipment at affordable prices. Mike's Fitness Equipment. And JoJo's Grill-A-Dog, located in the Mountain Grove Shopping Center in Redlands. Let's be frank, not all dogs are created equal. JoJo's Grill-A-Dog.
And welcome back to the Mike's Fitness Equipment Studio here at Teen Vision TV 16 at Val Verde High School. I'm Pep Fernandez. Welcome to the Inland Sports Show, watching live on Twitter or YouTube. We appreciate you tuning in. And again, this show will live forever on social media, so make sure you subscribe to the YouTube channel. We're talking a lot of high school football this week, and for good reason. And join us now live on the show. He's the head coach at Santiago. It's Scott Morrison. Coach, welcome to the show. Man, you've got a big game, maybe, at least in our book, one of the biggest games of the week against Rancho Verde. How are you feeling about your Sharks right now?
Oh, we love our guys. They, we've had a really good off-season training, great summer. They're ready to go. It's going to be fun.
As a head coach, after a while, do you just want to see your guys, I know you had a scrimmage, but see your guys actually line up and play for something out there, putting in all that hard work, all those hours in the weight room to actually see it kind of come to fruition on a Friday night?
Oh, no question. And in fact, was just reflecting on that and chatting with our coaches about it the other day. We've played 0 a week for the last several years, and intentionally made an adjustment this year to not play 0 a week, but it's been kind of weird. I mean, we felt like we were game ready last week, so hopefully we are.
Yeah, is there a strategy in that? Because, I mean, I know some coaches like the bye week before you go into league play, and then other coaches say, no, I just want to play 10 weeks straight through into the playoffs. I mean, obviously you did something different this year. Is there positives for both ways of doing it?
Yeah, no question. There's positives to both. I mean, truth be told, our rationale, the kind of reason I chose to do it this way, we played 0 a week at other schools even before, like 10 years straight. I've been involved in 0 week games. And quite frankly, last year when we had to play 3 games in August, I just felt like that makes for a really long season relative to the school year and all of that kind of stuff. And reflecting on those 10 years, there are some years where that bye week was really good for us. We had a chance to heal up, and we played really well coming out of it. Some years we didn't play so well; it didn't really matter. So I mean, there's certainly advantages, I think, but I think really it comes down to just making a decision what you're trying to get, and we just don't want to play 3 weeks in August anymore. So that was kind of the reason we did it.
Coach, who are some of the guys that we will be talking about this season from the Santiago football team? Who are some of the leaders, the seniors that you're going to be leaning on this year to get some wins?
Well, I think offensively, we've got 3 returning senior offensive linemen. Blake Caravello is a pretty high-level player. Connor Dickinson is a 2-year starter. Levi Butcher started half the year last year and now is ready to go again. So we've got some experience there. Quarterback is a senior, Brandon Arambula. He is a first-year starter. We were fortunate to have Nano for 3 years, and Brandon kind of served under Nano for a couple of years. So he's ready to go and take the reins. Receiver, returning senior, 3-year starter, Jackson Kurtz. I think he's gonna make some plays for us. And then Carson Foster, who's a 4-year Shark. First year kind of senior player, is going to play some running back for us, and he's just gotten better every single year, and he's ready to take the reins at running back. So that's what it looked like on offense. Defensively, we had 2 linebackers coming back in Ryan Williams and Mark Moreno. We think those 2 guys are potentially Saturday players. We've got our other linebacker, Enrique Marrero, has moved back from the defensive line, so he'll play quite a bit, and he's been there. And then Riley West and JT Roney and Troy Cassidy are 3 guys that played reasonable reps last year, not as starters. We had the fortune to have a 2-year group of guys back there in the secondary that played together, and last year was their second year. But those 3 got a lot of reps last year, and they'll be ready to hold the fort down in the secondary.
Well, speaking of the young guys in the secondary, Coach, you're jumping right into the fire against a high-powered Rancho Verde team who scores a lot of points. They love to pass the football. They got a great young quarterback in A.J. Duffy. How do you kind of see this matchup on paper with the Mustangs on Friday? Because we know you're a great team, and we know they're a great team. They went to a CIF title game in D2 last year. How do you see this matchup?
Yeah, I mean, I think if you look on paper, you probably say it's a done deal. We shouldn't even show up. Just tell them to keep the bus home and save the gas money. But the good thing is that the game's not played on paper, and our guys will do what they're coached to do really hard and really well. And when we do that, that gives us a chance against just about anybody. Pete's doing obviously a great job. He's a great coach. They play at a really high level and at a really high pace, and so we're going to have to match that energy to the extent that we can. But I think they also have to match our energy, and so if both teams play at their peak ability, I think we got a chance to have a really fun Friday night and see what happens in the fourth quarter. I would say if one of us doesn't, and it happens to be us, it could get away from us early. They have enough athletes on the field that they might be able to hang around not playing so great, and keep things close for a bit. So, what I hope for is that we get the best of our opponent and we give the best to our opponent. And if we do that, I think it'll be a fun night Friday night.
Well, it's always a fun Friday night at Santiago because your home field, there's only a couple places in the IE where there's a true home field advantage. Can you talk about what it's like having your home games there and the kind of support you get from the administration, the students? I mean, it's an event, football games out there.
It really is. I'm really fortunate. We talk with our kids all the time about how fortunate we are to be in that kind of an environment. There's a lot of high school football played nationwide on Friday nights, and there's relatively few places where it can be as special as it is at our place. Our student body is great in support and loud and fun to be around. Our administration, we have virtually every administrator there supporting not just our football team, but our cheerleaders and our band and our choir that sings the national anthem, and the students that are in the stands. A lot of times you get teachers and administrators in the stands who are the disciplinarians, and they're cracking down on the kids. And our administrators and security are trying to make sure that our kids are having fun in a safe way. But the kids don't feel threatened to have fun. And so it's a really, really neat environment to play football on a Friday night.
Well, it's going to be a great environment. It's going to be a fantastic game. 2 of the top teams in the Inland Empire going head-to-head. That's Rancho Verde and Santiago on Friday night. Coach Morrison, we always appreciate the time. Best of luck, and I'm sure we'll catch up again soon throughout the season because I really like your schedule. You're playing a lot of good teams, including your Big 8 schedule. So best of luck all season long.
Thanks, Pep. Appreciate it. Really enjoyed being on.
Thank you, Coach. That's Coach Morrison from Santiago breaking down the big matchup against the Mustangs. Man, what a fun matchup. And Santiago's the home team, so it's going to be a huge crowd, great football on the field, so couldn't ask for a better Friday night of high school football in the Inland Empire. Before we wrap up this segment, more awards to pass out. We have a new thing called our Spoiled Slick Play of the Week. It's a fun highlight, something that's kind of maybe unusual, different, amazing, incredible. There's a lot of different adjectives you could throw in here, but let's check out our Spoiled Slick Play of the Week for this week. And it comes courtesy of Eddie Elaine. He's just a sophomore at Norte Vista High School, but already one of the top running backs in the area. And Eddie Elaine got the crowd on their feet as he hurdles the defender. Eddie Elaine is very athletic. In fact, he's the younger brother of Freddie Holly, who's a running back at the University of Hawaii. And they're saying Eddie Elaine could maybe surpass Freddie Holly. We love Freddie Holly, but they're saying Eddie's that good. He provided a great highlight this past week in week 0 against Paloma Valley as Eddie Elaine hurdles the defender, and that's our Spoiled Slick Play of the Week. Eddie, you get the first honors. Congratulations. That was a lot of fun out there at Norte Vista High School. And also our radio game coming up. Online high school football on our Inland Sports Channel, live radio, and it comes back tomorrow night. Vista Del Lago's the home team. Hemet's the road team. We're going to have it live. So you can check out the Inland Sports YouTube channel, live radio between the Bulldogs and the Ravens. That's coming up Thursday night. Cullen Holt and Tim Hatch will have the call live out there. Vista Del Lago picking up a win in their season opener at Tockwitz. And Hemet High School trying to get their first win for head coach Dennis Gregovich. So it should be a great matchup. You can listen to the game live on the Inland Sports YouTube channel, so I hope you will check it out. When we come back, we're going to go inside the Lancers, presented by Magnolia Heating and Cooling, as we catch up with the California Baptist volleyball team as they are set for their season opener this Friday. We'll be back on the Inland Sports Show.
96.7 KCal Rocks. What's up? It's Patrick and 40. Hey, man, you're watching the Inland Sports Show right here. Make sure you check out Pep, man. It's Inland Sports with Pep, but he's on every Monday and Thursday morning with Sports with Pep, man. You guys rock.
The Inland Sports Show is brought to you by Spoiled. Quick, quality oil change. Spoil yourself and your car at Spoiled. Kin Sporting Goods. They have all of your sporting gear needs, Letterman's jackets, and team uniforms. Boost Performance Training with Coach Ray Bass. Athletes of all levels and all sports are going to Boost Performance Training in Corona. Mike's Fitness Equipment. Check out the new storeroom on La Cadena. Quality fitness equipment at affordable prices. Mike's Fitness Equipment. And JoJo's Gorilla Dog, located in the Mountain Grove Shopping Center in Redlands. Let's be frank, not all dogs are created equal. JoJo's Gorilla Dog.
Just opened up our new location off the 91 in Arlington and Riverside. Come check us out and get spoiled for a change.
How you guys doing? Coach Bass here. We're back at the BPC. Wanted to share with you guys what we're doing today in the gym. Today is all about backward movement. So if you're a football player, lacrosse player, soccer, basketball, any sport that requires backward movement, this drill's for you. Come check it out. So what the athletes are doing here, they're doing a back lateral run. So what I'm looking for here is I want their head back, all right? They're gonna hit a lateral run, they're gonna hit a quick transition. So this is a 90-degree cut. So on all of our 90-degree cuts, it's a single foot cut. And what I'm looking for is just a nice and fluid lateral run with their head looking back. They're gonna dip that inside shoulder, make a nice, crisp and clean cut. They wanna stay on a tight rope, and they wanna accelerate out of it. So this drill here, it's very similar to the last drill that we just watched. Now we're hitting our lateral run and we're going at a 135-degree angle. So we're taking it up a notch, we're increasing that angle. So now we're still getting that single foot cut off the inside edge of our foot, and then we want to decelerate at the cone. So again, we want to make a nice and sharp transition. We want to dip that inside shoulder, we want to decelerate. So that's our boost training tip of the day. Thanks for checking us out again. And make sure you stay up to date with everything that's Boost. Check our schedules, check our videos at our website at www.boosttrainingsystems.com. Check out our Twitter at boost_training and our Instagram at boosttraining. Grind hard, stay solid.
Oh, he does?
Yeah. Yeah, and I believe that with anything you're doing, that you have to believe.
Always beneficial, because when you get to play timid or scared, which for a young group you want to be able to
And welcome back to the Mike's Fitness Equipment Studio here at Val Verde Teen Vision TV 16. I'm Pep Fernandez, wrapping things up as we go inside the Lancers, presented by Magnolia Heating and Cooling. Yes, it's that time of the year, the fall sports, getting it cracking over there at CBU. For volleyball, they're going to open the season on the road at the Idaho Volleyball Classic this weekend, starting on Friday. CBU picked preseason in the WAC to finish in 4th place. They also finished in 4th place last year in their first year in Division I in the WAC, so at least the rest of the league sees them in the same spot. But they've got some great returning players, including a local superstar in Tesa Oaks. So let's go inside the Lancers, presented by Magnolia Heating and Cooling. We have more with Tesa Oaks, more with Natalie Zimmerer, talking about the upcoming season for the Lancers, and it should be a good one. Let's go inside the Lancers, presented by Magnolia Heating and Cooling.
Baptist volleyball team will open the season on the road at the Idaho Volleyball Classic this weekend. The Lancers come in as a preseason pick to finish 4th in the WAC.
It's awesome. I feel like the vibe is, similar to last year, and we really know how to be good teammates to each other. It's just we have great connections carrying forward.
I'm super excited. I love the girls on the team, and I think we've worked really hard this summer, and then double days too, so we're ready to go and really excited.
Leading the way will be a couple all-WAC selections in Tesa Oaks and Natalie Zimmerer.
Yeah, it was exciting. It was fun. I wasn't expecting it, so but that's just preseason, so we're excited to prove that during the year.
It was pretty cool. I wasn't expecting it, so it makes me excited for the season and preseason too, just to carry that throughout the whole season.
CBU finished 21-11 last season in their first campaign at the Division I level.
We have the same group as last year, minus one player, so we're really comfortable with each other. We went to Japan, which also brought us super close, so I'm just excited to spend time with them and grow together on the court.
We're super stoked. We're just looking to really carry last year's momentum into this year, and we only lost one person, so we're just really excited to bring the team back together and compete again, D1.
The schedule will be challenging this season for CBU, with 29 matches in all during the regular season, just 8 of them, though, on their home floor at CBU.
Yeah, we have a little taste for the team, so we know what to expect and kind of the rhythm of the conference, so I think it's going to be better than last year.
Now that we know what to expect in the WAC, just coming in hard to every game, because every team can win at any given moment. And just, I think, playing hard, never letting a ball drop, that kind of thing.
And that was CBU volleyball again going on the road. In fact, I think today's their travel day to head up to the Idaho Volleyball Classic to start their season. Meanwhile, a little bit closer to home right here in the Riv, it was CBU women's soccer renewing their rivalry with UC Riverside, the Crosstown Showdown. Women's soccer going on the road at UCR, their first road game. I guess you can call it a road game, going to the other side of the freeway here in Riverside. We got video of one of the goals for CBU, because CBU defeated UCR. Final score in that one was 3-1, and the goal that you're about to see from CBU came from Elisa Soderholm, and the goal is courtesy of at CBU Goals. We appreciate it. I think we got video of that one, the goal, which turned out to be the game-winning goal because it was the second goal of the match. And again, the final was 3-1, and she tucks it in the back of the net, breaks up that 1-1 tie, and CBU goes on to defeat UCR 3-1 in another edition of the Crosstown Showdown. So CBU soccer, women's soccer, soccer, a lot of talent this year. I think they're going to score a lot of goals as this season progresses, as we heard from Coach St. Clair last week on the Inland Sports Show. So that was Inside the Lancers, presented by Magnolia Heating and Cooling. We'll have more on CBU athletics throughout the entire season, volleyball, soccer, cross country, ushering in the basketball season, of course, and into the spring sports. So we appreciate Magnolia Heating and Cooling and our Inside the Lancers segment. All right, we're going to finish things up with your Boost Performance Training broadcast schedule, because we want to make sure everyone knows where they can get their high school football fix all week long, because there's a lot of places that you can see local football coverage. And it all starts right here, Wednesday nights with the Inland Sports Show. And then on Thursday night, Friday night, and even Saturday night, we got local football. So let's see that Boost Performance broadcast schedule. We got some Thursday night games, including the Lago. Vista del Lago at home for Hemet. That's live radio on the Inland Sports Channel. Also Thursday night on ABC Radio, 1490 AM KMET Pacific versus Beaumont. Our guy Kono, Stephen Kono, is going to join Mitch McClellan on the call on KMET. Then Friday night, this is a big one. Coach McMahon to make his debut, Citrus Hill against Palm Springs. That's live on Teen Vision TV 16. That's VVUSD Teen Vision on Vimeo. Check them out. Just search them. You'll find it. That's a big one. We'll see what McMahon's and the Hawks have in store for an upstart Palm Springs team. So that's a good one. Great Oak against King on Riverside TV. One of those schools will get their first win of the season on Riverside TV. And then finally, you cap it all off with Sports Weekly Live on IEMG, live at 11 o'clock till midnight. We'll break down all the high school football in the Inland Empire. Now, next week, the schedule is going to look a little bit different, because we're going to introduce college football. We got some college football games as well beginning next week with SBVC, RCC, and of course, the University of Redlands. Big thanks to our guests, Santiago head coach Scott Morrison, Murrieta Valley head coach George Wilson, Jeff live from his backyard with all those crazy emojis, whatever he was doing back there. Good to have him on in the first segment. And a shout out to CBU for always being so accommodating when we come on campus and do some interviews. We appreciate that as well. Well, my name is Pep Fernandez. We appreciate the help from Teen Vision TV 16 here at Val Verde High School. From the Mike's Fitness Equipment Studio, it's been a lot of fun. We'll do it all over again next Wednesday night, 6 o'clock for your favorite show, the Inland Sports Show. We'll see you then.